Welcome back, guys! So in today's video I'll be answering your questions on stretched ears, on the topic of stretched ears. So since in one of my last videos I told you that I want to do more content also on stretched ears, not only tattoos, so here I am. I did make a Instagram story where I was asking you to ask me questions on stretched ears, and boy, you guys did that. I have so many questions and I hope I will go through most of them. And I think without further ado, we can just get into it. First question. So do you regret having them? No offense, just curiosity. So no, I don't regret my ears being stretched. I still love them after a couple of years. It's been probably 9 or 8 years since I've had my ears stretched, so it's been a long time. But I really love my ears still. I know there are people who stretch their ears, they get tired of them, but I still love my stretched ears and I'm still gonna keep them that way. Did you use the dead stretching technique? Yes, I did, because that was the only method I found fitting for me at the time, and that is very wrong to do. You should not do dead stretching, but there are different types of dead stretching. The dead stretching that I did was take a silicone tunnel, and if I wanted to go, let's say, from 10 millimeters to 12 millimeters, I take a 12 millimeter silicone tunnel, smushed it together, put it in my ear and let it pop out. And when it popped out, it stretched my ear. And that is such a bad thing to do. I would not recommend anyone doing it. But there's a different kind of dead stretch, which is a safe one. And I'll be talking about that one in one of my next videos, where I'll be talking about how to stretch your ears properly. When did you start stretching your lobes? I started stretching my lobes when I was in middle school. And I was about 14, 15. I might totally mix that up, but somewhere around that age. I was pretty young. Would you like to go bigger? I've thought about it, but I don't think I will. So I've been at 20 millimeters for the past couple of years. I was stretching my ears basically all the time, and now I've totally stopped because I don't think I'm gonna go bigger. Plus, I already have all the jewelry I want for my stretched ears, and so if I go a size up, none of that jewelry will fit me anymore, so I'm just gonna stay at 20 millimeters, but I still like how people look with bigger ears, and sometimes I fantasize about having bigger lobes, but then again, I'm like, I feel comfortable with this, and that's where I'm gonna stay, at least for now. Where do you buy your plugs/tunnels? Good question. So one of my recent favorites is Stretched Body Jewelry. I'm working with them, and I also have a little discount code that you can use, which is right here and also in my description below, and they have good prices on everything. They have stretching kits, they have oils for your ears, they have tunnels, plugs, jewelry, all that stuff, and I really like them, so I recommend you go check them out. I've also bought tunnels from UK Custom Plugs, but that was a very long time ago, also practically when they just opened up. Also, I remember that there was Ask an Embla. I have a pair of hangers from them. I really like those, and there are some others that I'm just gonna be mentioning right here, but and also I've had friends that make custom plugs, and they don't really have a brand, so that's a different story. But yeah, these that I have mentioned are the ones where I have got my plugs and tunnels from. What's your favorite material for plugs? So in my last video I mentioned that, and it is wood. I had stretches and missed my earrings. Now I have earrings and miss my stretches. What should I do? Decide? I mean, you can still wear earrings if you have stretched ears. Well, if you want like the small earrings, then maybe you can't wear those. But if you want like longer earrings that just dangle down from your ear, you can still wear those with stretched ears. I don't know. You have to just really think about it. Best way to stretch ears after 20 millimeters? Good question. So since my ears are at 20 millimeters, I haven't tried stretching them bigger, but of course, this is a good question because tapers and all those swirly stuffs that you can put in your ear to stretch your ear are up until a certain point, and after that you can either use a dead stretching method that I'm going to be talking about in one of my next videos, but also you can use hangers to stretch your ears, or use taping, which is just you take your old tunnel, which is your current size, and start taping it with tape and putting it in, which is also like just gradually stretching your ear over the period of time to a certain size, and then just like changing the size of the tunnels and just continue on doing that. So that's an option as well. I haven't done that personally, but I know that people who have bigger lobes have done that. Do they really smell bad? Well, some of them do. Mine don't anymore because ever since I started wearing natural materials in my ears, taking care of them, of course, also washing them when I go in the shower, wearing natural materials or materials that your ears take well, really stopped them smelling like anything. They don't smell at all. Unless I don't clean them, then they maybe can sometimes smell a little bit. But when I was wearing like synthetic stuff like acrylics or silicone, then my ears did stink. And the stench isn't it isn't nice at all. So I can relate on both sides of the story, like having your ears smell and having your ears not smell. Is the 2mm skip for stretching is okay formula 4 to 6, 8 to 10. So it used to be okay, but I don't think it is because 2mm for your ears is quite a lot. So I would either recommend 0.5mm or 1mm, but also like very slowly because you don't want to damage your ear that fast. Because 2mm is quite, like if you do it at once, it's a lot for your ear. So either you can get a blowout or rip your ear or do something that you don't want to do with your ear. It's very dangerous, so it always depends on the person. I've done that before when I was stretching my ears, but I seriously do not recommend it. Mine are always irritated. I don't know what to do. So it depends on what material you are using in your ears. Do you clean your ears and do you take good care of them? So do you moisturize your ears and all that? Look out for the material. Maybe you are allergic to some sort of material, or for me, my ears get irritated if I very often change my jewelry in my ears, then they get irritated. But yeah, so taking care of your ears and watching out for the materials you use in your ears is something you should look out for. How big were your earlobes before you started stretching? Mine are too small, I think. So I don't know, like my earlobes have been pretty juicy, thick, let's say, also before I started stretching them. Like I had normal thick earlobes. But I know even people who have had stretched ears sew them back up, and when your ears are sewed, like the earlobe part is very small, but even people after that I've seen stretch their ears. So if you do it slowly, like your earlobe is gonna generate extra skin, and if you do it right, and if your pierced hole isn't very low, then it's gonna maybe work out. You just have to also do some research on that. I've only got one ear stretched to 20mm. A number of people said it's weird. Is it? Well, do you think it is? I mean, it depends on for each person. I did have one ear stretched before I stretched my other ear, but I just really like the feeling of symmetry, and so I just really felt that I needed to stretch my other ear for both of my ears to be stretched. And 20mm is quite of a big size for just one ear to be stretched, so maybe it can just for some look like it's uneven. But if you like it, then leave it that way. But if you don't, then you can just go ahead and stretch the other ear. How often you've seen the famed ear cheese effect where there is discharge? So I've seen that famed ear cheese, which is very disgusting and also painful, because if you see that your lobe is irritated and it hurts a couple of times, and that has been once when I was using materials that my ears were not supporting and my ears got irritated, or sometimes if I catch my ear, and that happens very rarely. It sometimes is when I'm changing my jewelry and I do something and I catch my ear, and then it can get irritated. Not often at all. It happens if I do something wrong, and that has a reason, but it doesn't happen just out of the blue. What are your thoughts on ear weights? I think they're good. I mean, also they look nice, so I have good thoughts on ear weights. Any idea if there is a way to get your lobe thicker again? Well, it depends on what happened to it. I haven't had that problem, but I've heard that you have to massage it, take care of it like daily. Like you have to moisturize it, and you have to do like special massages for your ear to kind of make like a blood pump in it more. So you just have to really massage it and take care of it. So maybe that can help, but otherwise I really don't know. How long did it take you to get to your goal size? So when I started stretching my ears, I didn't have a goal size. So I was just like stretching them from time to time. Like at first I thought my goal size was 10mm, then I amped it up to 12, then I amped it up to 16. I don't remember the period of time in which I did it and how long that took me, because it was so long ago. But if you have a goal size, just really take the time and be patient with it. List of things you have put through your ear holes. I promised myself I would make a list of that, but I forgot. So, especially when I was stretching my ears, I did use lollipop sticks, I used straws, I used pencils, and that's not something you should do at all. But I used pencils, then I used, what else? Well, my fingers, just for the lulz, not for stretching. I've tried to put bottle caps in my ears because at one point it was trendy to have Coca-Cola caps in your ears and you were like, I'm so cool. But that was not cool at all. Oh, I remember some of my friends were on this trend. They had like little lockers locked through their tunnels, and I did have that for a moment, but then I realized how stupid that is and how I didn't like the feeling of it, so I didn't have it anymore. There are weird things I've put through my ear, which you maybe sometimes shouldn't even do. This is the end of the video, but before I end the video, I just want you to remind that you can buy, let's call it my merch. So this is a hoodie with my design. You can get them in different colors and with a different color design. This is my autumn fave hoodie. I got it oversized. This is the size XL, I believe. I have another hoodie in white, which is an S, and the S size just fits me very well, but the oversized one is like hella comfortable. So if you're looking for a hoodie for this cold autumn season, this is the perfect one. Plus, they are very soft from the inside. So if you wish to check them out or buy something, I will leave my link in the description. So please go check that out. And yeah, so enough of that. Give me a like, subscribe, and now I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!